Hello, YouTube viewers. This is Brent Siu coming to you from Houston, Texas. This 10th day of November. It's Wednesday, and we made it to a truck stop safely. Say hello to Black Labrador Nellie. Say hi, Nellie. Say hi. Say hello, everyone. Hello. Anyways, I'm here to talk to you about trucking today. It's been a while since I made a video, and I'm pleased to announce that a close friend, I guess they call me uncle in the Philippines, Kuya. So with that being said, this young man, he's 25 years old. His name is Elijah, just like my son. We'll just say Elijah D. How's that? Double D. That's his last name. I called his uncle Eddie Double D also. Anyways, he's interested in starting trucking, so I was giving him some advice. You know, there is a difference between getting your training, let's say through somebody you know, which would be the best scenario, to go with a truck driver and ride along with him and get your permit, your 3-part permit, written test, take that and have your permit so you could drive with somebody that has their own truck. But usually that is hard to find. That's not the case, okay? But then you could borrow their truck and do the driving exam, and with a DMV officer, DOT officer, and whatever it takes to do it, you do it. That would be the number one scenario. But most of us, like myself, I tried going with Prime back in late 2007, early 2008. They gave me 2 trainers with Prime, and they had a school there in Springfield, Missouri, and needless to say, their 2 trainers, one was an alcoholic guy, Vietnam vet with all his little secrets, and the other guy was a road rage guy, and he was the nicer of the 2, but my goodness, I thought at any time he was going to blow up and have a heart attack just going off on people, you know, and I didn't enjoy both of those guys with Prime. It was hell riding with them, you know. I started driving at midnight north of San Antonio, north of Dallas, with the first guy, 10-speed transmission, a Freightliner, I think it was. And the second guy, having to put up with all his antics and going through Texas. And oh my goodness, I could tell you story after story from this guy. Both guys I have stories to tell, but I'll save that for another time. And it was unpleasant, and I got off the truck after 6 weeks with no CDL, just a permit that I had gotten in Springfield. And so 5 years later, I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee area, actually Ottawa, which is next to Collegedale, where Southern Adventist University is, Little Debbie's and Volkswagen and all that stuff. And I went to the little town of Cleveland to the workforce, and I applied to get my CDL. I was broker than broke. Had my son with me, and I was renting a room from a nice family. My friend Randy and his wife was Ming, she's Filipina, and we rented a room for a few months from them as I was trying to get on my feet. Well, I painted houses back then, and needless to say, I just couldn't find enough work, like always. It's hard to be a contractor, being self-employed in construction. And sometimes what it is, it takes money to make money. So I didn't want to be a painter. I mean, I had to do what I had to do. I was getting old. It was getting hard on my body. Gets hot and humid in Tennessee, down in the eastern part of the country. And another friend, Jerry, suggested, well, why don't I go to trucking school? So that's what I did. I went to, inquired at the workforce, the Job Service Center there in Cleveland. I had to take a small English reading test, and I had to take a math test, which had to do with a line graph, the chart. And I forgot what they call it, but it's not exactly a line graph. It's something else, going backwards and forward, subtracting, addition. And I actually didn't pass. I used to be an A student in basic math. But golly, it's been several decades since I went to school, and I didn't know that. But the lady said, don't worry. Here's some, she gave me some problems to go find a way to go use the community library computers and how to use it and study for it. And I passed, okay? Just a couple weeks later, I was ready for it and passed. Applied for it. I got a WIA grant through the state of Tennessee. And they paid for my school, which was 7 weeks training through Chattanooga State Community College Commercial Truck Driving School in Hickson, Tennessee, right across the river on the other side of Chickamauga Dam. You know, the road that goes on Chickamauga Dam to Hickson from the college. Not even barely I'd say 5 to 8 miles max in distance away from the college. And it was a 7-week training. It cost $1,077 back then. And 7 weeks training, there was 8 students, and we had 2 instructors. And they had a nice pad. They're still there. I just checked them out a couple months ago. I made a video on YouTube of Chattanooga State Community College Commercial Truck Driving School. You can find it on YouTube. And that's just a few videos ago, not long ago. And I was one of the last ones because I was waiting for a Social Security card. I needed 3 pieces of ID, and I was waiting for 2 of them. And it took a while. But I rode around with everyone. We had our group of 4 with one instructor, Dave. And the other group of 4 had instructor Rick. They were both excellent instructors. I can't say enough about them. Our class had two women in it, two female women. Two young women. I think one was married to a truck driver that had gone through the school. The other one was single. She was dating a truck driver, and she was going to ride with him, from what I remember. There were a couple older guys, a couple younger guys, and I was like in the middle, you know. And me and another guy were in the middle. Well, I got to see all their mistakes. We were laughing, joking in class while driving, and we had to respect the guy that was driving. And the truck we had was a W900, I think a dark blue one or black one, and it had a bench seat in the back. So 3 of us would put our seat belts, instructor in the passenger seat, and the driver, and we learned how to go on these small little streets in downtown Chattanooga. We went across the river, freeway on the town of Hickson to Chattanooga, making sharp rights, lefts, one-way streets, how to fill, how to backing. We did that for 2.5 weeks till we were sick of it. But guess what? We were backing a 48-foot trailer, dry van, and then like a week before testing, guess what, guys? It's time to try backing up in a 53-footer dry van trailer. Oh man, did I have to make adjustments, and I consider myself a good backer, you know, and we did offset to the right, offset to the left, straight line backing, Alley Dock. Let's see. Alley Dock. There was 4 or 5 of them. I think that's all of them. And, you know, we learned how to do this on their gravel pad. And we got to drive like 3-4 different trucks. One of them was an older automatic, like an 08 Freightliner automatic. And U.S. Express donated some trucks to them, and so did Covenant, I think. And, but, so we learned to back, you know, and we were good. And, of course, they said to me, "Oh, Brent, you were our best driver." Well, I wonder who else they said that to, right? But that's okay. I'll take that, you know. Thank you, guys. I mean, I wish I could find those 2 instructors and thank them and whatever, but maybe they'll see my video someday. But I can't thank enough to WIA, through getting a grant through the state of Tennessee, through the job force. There was lovely. There was another black gentleman, I think his name was Gary. I have a picture with him. But lovely Mathai, she was the director of the Job Service Center in Cleveland, Tennessee. And she helped me. Oh, she helped me apply. She said, "Don't give up, just try." When I didn't pass that math quiz, test, whatever you want to call it. And she helped me through it. I went in once or twice to see her. And I still hadn't made it big. But, you know, I started with U.S. Express. Just within 2 weeks after finishing school. I had a little project to finish painting, a shed. And I went with U.S. Express. I had a trainer for 1 month. And then I was supposed to go with another student. They put 2 students together back then. And I had the A seat. He had the B seat. And there's a reason for that, folks. The A seat guy's supposed to be a little better driver, I guess. Even though I did get nervous with stuff, it's like you get this feel of acceleration when you're going to be king of the road, right? Looking down at everyone from a semi. Oh, I loved it. I still love it. It gets old sometimes. It gets hard because I'm trying to be the best that I can be. And the other fellow, you know, we teamed together for 6 weeks. We couldn't even stand each other. I mean, we apologized to each other and stuff. I almost got in a fight with them, and it was stressful not having anything to do but wait. 2 of us in a truck. We waited like 3.5 days in Rialto, California, an old J.B. Hunt terminal that U.S. Express had bought. And all these people, there were no loads coming out from California going east. We finally got a carpet load, a Shaw carpet load headed to Dalton, Georgia. And we both quit the same day because, you know how much he figured out we were making? Like $2.42 an hour, I think is what we figured. 16 cents a mile. That's what they started us at as a team drivers. I know a few years later, I got a check, or a friend called me and said, "Hey, you got a check." I said, "Open it up." U.S. Express. They had a large suit. Somebody sued them, and I got a court judgment of $201 in the mail. And somebody sued them because we weren't even making minimum wage, you know, and being in a truck that long. But the other fellow, he had trouble backing up. I think he needed a new pair of glasses or didn't have glasses, couldn't see. He couldn't read a map. Then we approached like St. Louis. He'd wake me up. I said, "Hey, go ahead and wake me up if you need help." "Hey, Brent, wake up. Which way do I go? Which turn off?" Because the signs are coming at you and you're going 65 miles an hour. Signs are coming at you, and if you're not sure where you're going, you miss the turn, and then you can spend half an hour trying to get back on the road, you know. So I would help him. So I would back up at first, and then I said, well, you got to learn how to do this. And he was impressed by my backing skills, to say the least. And so was my trainer, you know. It's always hard to get along with someone else when you're inside the semi. I believe the semi is meant for one person, one driver, and his best buddy, his dog. In my case, this is Nellie girl. Black Labrador Nellie. We've been on so many adventures together. So, what I'm trying to say is, that's the second way of doing it, is to go through community college, through workforce, to get your Class A CDL and get experience. And then you can sign up with any company, and if you don't like it, you can quit at any time. Now, the third way is, that I know of, is you sign up with a company and you let them pay for your training. But like Prime, like I said earlier, this was when I joined U.S. Express, it was August, or let me back up. When I went through training through Chattanooga State Community College Commercial Truck Driving School in Hickson, Tennessee, that was August of 2012. And by November 4th, this was the day I started with U.S. Express of 2012. And then 2.5 months later, I no longer worked for them. I resigned because the pay really sucked. It sucked only getting $340 or $360 or $380 every week. That's not enough. That's not enough to survive by the time you buy your food, your supplies, and have bills to pay. That's not enough. I'm sorry. They deserve to get sued if that's what happened. And their dispatching sucked at the time. I heard they revamped everything. Well, I hope so, you know. People are here to make money to provide for themselves and their families. They're not here to take advantage of a trucking company. It's the opposite. The trucking company always takes advantage of the driver, it seems like, you know. The driver gets the short end of the stick, which is wrong. It's not good. So, with that being said, the other way was like I did in 2007. I went to Prime by bus from Lake Havasu by bus to Springfield, Missouri. And there was an ice storm. I think we got as far as Amarillo. And then I got a taxi to the nearest truck stop, which was a Pilot, and I hitchhiked. And the truck driver, 20 minutes later, it was sleeting, it was cold, it was like raining, and he picked me up. He used to drive for Prime. He said, oh, I know exactly where to take you. In the back of their shop is the terminal, and you can go in through the store. That's exactly how it was. They had a little store in the back of the terminal by where the trucks go into the shop. And so, you know, we became friends for a while until I lost track of him and he lost track of me. But you learn from talking to people of how companies are. And he was driving for not CR England, John Christner at the time. Yep, John Christner Trucking. Nice guy, and he helped me out, so gave me a ride right to the back door of Prime Inc. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, I had a drunk trainer and then a road rage trainer. Nobody gets anywhere anytime soon or anytime fast when you're under those circumstances. They even tried putting me with some guy that was a farmer that had bought a truck, and he had a big cup, like a 60-ounce cup with chewing tobacco spit in it. And all over his dash of his truck, he had spit. And that stuff made me nauseous. And I decided, no, it ain't going to work between us. I could barely stand someone smoking in the truck, let alone someone chewing their tobacco all over, spit all over the dash, you know. Nasty. So, the Prime terminal, by the way, it's the most beautiful terminal one of the most beautiful terminals you'll ever see, the best one I've ever seen for a trucking company. And it's large. It has a basketball court in it. It has like 12 rooms, so when you come in, they'll give you 1 or 2 nights free to stay in there. They have a cafeteria. They have a weight room. They have a 50-person movie theater upstairs, etc., etc. Just a beautiful terminal that they have, and they had a good place to do your driving, to back up. But I just didn't like how they taught their people how to drive. You know, they're making money off of everyone. Those two guys made money off of me for 6 weeks. You know, I drove, I think, 122 hours. So I had some experience 5 years later when I went through, the school in Chattanooga. I had some experience, but that was 5 years earlier that I had done that. But, I used to have a little boat and a trailer, and I used to back them up in Pendleton, Oregon, in my backyard, so I learned how to back up real good. So backing has never been an issue for me. But, so when I went through Prime, they made us sign a note. At the time, I don't remember if it was $2,995 or if it was like $3,495. Somewhere in that range, between $3,000 and $4,000, okay? But the couple that had told me about Prime, they had gotten driver of the year, team of the year for several years. And they were, my mom knew them in Lake Havasu. And so I called them up with the problem with the drunk driver and then with the road rage guy, and they batted for me, and I got out of the note. I never had to pay it. It didn't ruin my credit or nothing, But for 5 years, I went looking in search of what to do next, and I painted houses. That's all that I knew what to do. But so before you get stuck in a note like that, they want you to drive for a year, 12 months to 24 months to pay that note off. I'm telling you, the better deal of the three is if you know somebody and you can go with them, right? And you can get your CDL with somebody that you know. But that's going to be hard to find. The next best thing is to go to a community college, commercial truck driving school, and get accepted through the workforce, and they'll pay for everything. And that's if we're broke like me, and you qualify. They might even pay for half. That's still better than nothing. So, I learned to drive truck basically after U.S. Express. I hauled boats across the country to dealerships, Malibu boats from Loudon, Tennessee, all the way to Saskatoon, Calgary, and Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, all the way up there in the snow. I hauled boats at 55%. Then they gave me I quit them. Then at the end of 2013, then at the end of 2013, after I worked in the oil field a little bit that summer, they gave me a 3% raise at 58%. But they had old equipment, and the trucks kept breaking down. The trailer broke down. I was stuck. I bobtailed from Billings, Montana, at January of 2014 all the way to Knoxville. And I hurt my neck helping the mechanic put a chain around the axle because the spindle broke and the bearings popped out. And I hit my head on the bottom of the trailer and heard some popping, and I had headaches, terrible headaches. And I didn't drive for 6 months still. Someone helped me, chiropractor helped me. And, I could tell you story after story, but there's not enough time in this video. But I wish you guys the best. Look everything over, write it down on a piece of paper. Put A, B, C, put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many companies you want to go through. Look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. Watch a lot of videos from Trucker Kayla, Alex at the what is it called? I can't think of him. He's a mover. The My Show, or what is it? Something like that. Trucker Alex. And watch Trucker Brent with Black Labrador Nelly, and learn how we went to the oil fields after we hauled boats. Hi, Nelly. Yep. Nelly girl and I were in Williston, North Dakota, in the Bakken oil fields of Williston, North Dakota, and drove truck. We hauled sand, hauled pipes, hauled water, did a little bit of everything. We hauled sugar beets one summer for about a week to help out a farmer. All in all, I've driven 114 trucks in 9 years. I just celebrated my 9th year, November 4th, which is my dad's birthday. He would have been 81 if he was still alive. And I'm still here, and guess what? I've got my own truck, going 5 months into it, and it's going good. And I'm making not 16 cents a mile, folks. No more. How about, give or take, $8,000 before taxes? But after the truck payment, the truck insurance, the maintenance escrow fee, etc., that's taken out, I'm still making about 7,000 to 8,000, a little bit more sometimes. And I'm still shooting for the stars. And I take Saturdays off because that's my religious day that I have off, because it's the Sabbath. I do a 34-hour restart, and I start with a new clock every Sunday morning, 70-hour clock, to drive hard and get those miles. So I work 5.5 days, and I'm making $8,000 a month. Not bad for a guy like me. And I wasn't making this kind of money trucking, folks. Not by myself. I'd have to have a crew of painters to help me do that. But that ain't going to happen no more. After 35 years, I'm glad to say, I retired last year, and I no longer paint houses. So anyways, if any of you have questions and I can help you, if you want to drive a truck in the oil field or over the road or local, give me a call. I'd be glad to help you, or just put your phone number down, or find me on Messenger, Facebook Messenger. We're on Instagram. You can find us in so many places, really. Even on TikTok. I don't have a page on TikTok, but I do watch a lot of videos to learn. So, good luck, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video, a little story of how I got started. And I've almost threatened to quit so many times, believe it or not. That's a video in itself. How many times I almost quit because I've gotten ripped off by trucking companies. So just don't give up, Remember the 3 P's. You got to persevere by the power of prayer. When you're down and out, who else do you have? You have Jesus. That's all you have. He's the only one that can help you. So, just persevere by the power of prayer, the 3 P's. God bless you, folks. Take care. I do this to help you guys, so you learn from my mistakes, so you don't have to go through the same mistakes that I did. We're all human beings, and nobody's perfect. We all made mistakes, and we're all trying to find a good job to make money, to help ourselves and help our families. So, God bless you guys. And take care. Peace out.